Good evening, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterboxer. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing fine. Thank you guys for joining me this evening or wherever you are in the world. Whether it is morning, whether it's afternoon, whether it's the middle of the night, I don't know. But thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. Before I start, should I say, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Of course, guys. Now, look. When Man United are concerned, we're never too far away from a little bit of bad news. And you know what? Some people call me probably one of the most enthusiastic, overly zealous fans in probably the fan base. Well, I'm not actually. I'm much more of a realist than people think. Now, in regards to Man United and transfers, of course, much of Manchester United's future transfer prospect hinge on Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Højlund. And those sort of players. Of course, we have to hope that they play well. We have to hope that they perform for their respective club, Barcelona and Napoli. Now, in regards to Rashford, as opposed to Rasmus Højlund, Marcus Rashford has been said that he will not be staying at Barcelona beyond his loan agreement, guys. Now, Barcelona, of course, had an obligation in there. I don't know what the stipulations are if they cancelled that obligation, but apparently, they don't want Marcus Rashford, and Marcus Rashford hasn't impressed them enough. Now, look, guys, it is a little bit early days to be talking a little bit negatively about it. It is only, of course, December. But this doesn't bode well, does it, in regards to the transfer aspirations of Marcus Rashford? Of course, Marcus Rashford spent ages flirting with Barcelona and had a couple of good performances here and there, and people were getting overly excited about Marcus Rashford. I myself was only excited because the fact that, you know what, we could possibly sell Marcus Rashford and make some money and reinvest it in the team, of course, guys. Now, if I was a betting man now, it does look likely that Marcus Rashford will return to Manchester United once his loan deal has expired at Barcelona. Now, look, you know what, guys? That's going to leave Man United in a little bit of a problem because it's going to waste a little bit of time trying to find another club for Marcus Rashford. I don't believe Marcus Rashford will be staying at Man United. After everything that has happened at Manchester United, I can't see for the life of me Marcus Rashford staying at Man United. The only positive in regards to the loan deals that we have done, of course, is Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund does look likely to stay at Napoli, which is good news, of course, which is going to be around 40 million in the kitty. Rasmus Højlund has been impressing the Napoli hierarchy, of course, and he's doing very well over there. However, in far contrast to Marcus Rashford, who's had a few decent performances here and there. He hasn't done too bad. If we're being honest with ourselves, he hasn't been done too bad. But we know with Barcelona, with these kind of teams, they're a little bit stingy when it comes to giving the money out, isn't it? They're a little bit stingy when it comes to giving the money out. Proper shameless club is Barcelona, I would say. And, you know, if they don't purchase Rashford, then it's just, you know, a slap in the face to Manchester United. But this is precisely why we needed to sell him in the first place and not agree a loan deal. Just he needed to go. The problem is Marcus Rashford was infatuated with Barcelona and he wanted to go to Barcelona a bit out of everyone, like no one else but Barcelona. And obviously that is a problem going forward, of course, now, because now, you know, his dream is sort of coming into tatters, if you're being honest with our guys. It is getting into tatters. It is getting into territory where, you know what, he's not going to be staying at Barcelona. Now, what next for Marcus Rashford? What do we do next for Marcus Rashford? It remains to be seen. Now, when we look at Onana as well, Onana is still technically a Manchester United player. And he will be walking back to Old Trafford in the summer, guys, as well. He has not been called up to the Cameroon side for the AFCON. Guys, 4 goalkeepers were called up to the AFCON. 4 goalkeepers for Cameroon, and not one of them was Andre Onana. What does that tell you, guys? What does that tell you? This is the goalkeeper that we had last season. This is the man that was between the sticks last season. This was the guy that was, you know what, costing us points last season, cost us the Grimsby game this season. It was this guy, and he's not been called up to the AFCON for the Cameroon AFCON for the Cameroon national squad, of course. But what can we do, guys? It is what it is, and Man United, this is what happens. This is the risk you run when you have loan deals. When you have loan deals, you always run the risk of, you know what, players coming back from loan deals, and teams will think, nah, I don't really want him now. I'm all right. I'm good. I don't really want to purchase him now. You have that honeymoon period when you move into a football club. disintegrates, it goes, and majority of teams will say, nah, I don't want him. This is the problem with loan deals, of course, because, when players, you always have that feeling when a player goes to a club for the first time, whether it be Man United or whether it be another club, you get that little bit of element of excitement. That element of excitement goes, it disappears, it disintegrates, and the shirt sales start slowing down. So they start thinking, really? Do we really want to spend that much money on Marcus Rashford? Do we want him? Should we get someone else? They start thinking like that. That's just natural thoughts. Now, the saving grace, if there is such a thing, and it is a small saving grace, but it may be a saving grace here, it is PSG. PSG could emerge as contenders for, if there is contenders for Marcus Rashford's signature. Now, they have seemed to be interested in Marcus Rashford and have inquired about Marcus Rashford rumor being. That is just rumors at the moment. Nothing has been solidified. I believe that what's going to happen is that Marcus Rashford will come back in the summer and it will be another loan deal, guys. It will probably be another loan deal. It will probably be that's what it will be, a loan deal. And that's about it. It'll probably be. And I think that's the best Man United can hope for. Man United already going to lose, obviously, Sancho. Not too bothered about that. Actually delighted about Sancho leaving Manchester United. That's fantastic news. Sancho not at the football club anymore. Delighted about that. But you know what? With Onana, with Rashford, and with Rasmus, this is up in the air still. And these three players do play a huge role in what Manchester United do this summer, guys. Absolutely. That's what it's all about, guys. And I really hope that they do sign for their respective clubs, because at the end of the day, we need the money, guys. And we know what Ineos are like, isn't it? We do need the money. We do need reinforcements in our squad. They do need to be replaced. And this is something that we have to remember as well. They have not been replaced properly. We do have a smaller squad this season, and this is a problem that we're having. We can't have this squad going into next season. We can't have this squad going after January. We need to have reinforcements in January as well, guys. Absolutely. Definitely. It is chaos, of course, but this is something that we predicted a long time ago, that the Marcus Rashford hype train would die down, and then Barcelona will say, well, we don't really want him. As I said, if I was a betting man, I would say, look, you know what? He's not going to sign for Barcelona. I just can't see it happening. I can't see them signing Marcus Rashford. I'll be honest with you. I think they're going to go after another player. I really do. I don't think they're going to go after Marcus Rashford unless Marcus Rashford does something miraculous this next few months and absolutely wins over the Barcelona hierarchy, of course, guys. But let's wait and see. Let's play it by ear. But it's not very good news for Manchester United as well. Now, speaking of bad news for Manchester United, we heard a few days ago that Angelo Stiller would prefer a move to Real Madrid. Now, obviously, this obviously is a blow to Man United. Of course, Angelo Stiller is one of the midfielders that Man United are heavily linked with, a big admirers of as well. He has doubled down on his aspirations to go to Real Madrid. He's also said that he would love to play in La Liga. Guys, now look, there was a little bit of kerfuffle the other day in regards to Angelo Stiller, in regards to the abuse he got in the German Cup, I believe it was. Or was it the European game during midweek? I think it was, but he was getting a lot of abuse because of the way he looks and stuff like that, which was disgraceful and stuff. And obviously, but in regards to the footballing side of things, Angelo Stiller, if he was to choose, he would go to Real Madrid. Now, Real Madrid are looking to revamp their midfield, looking at Angelo Stiller. Angelo Stiller is the next big player coming out of Germany. They're calling him the new Toni Kroos. And of course, when you think about the new Toni Kroos, a player like Angelo Stiller is going to be like, you know what? I want to be the new Toni Kroos. Real Madrid, Angelo Stiller. There we go. 2 and 2 together equals 4. And that's what it is at the end of the day, And Man United, of course, there is a number of factors that are going to be involved in this. There's a number of factors that we're going to have to keep in mind. For example, not qualifying for the Champions League. Man United do have to qualify for the Champions League if they have any aspirations of signing a player like obviously Angelo Stiller. Of course, it is still early days. We are in December, guys. Anything could happen in the future. But Manchester United were looking at inquiring about Angelo Stiller in January. This is the thing about it. They're inquiring about Angelo Stiller in January. Now, Angelo Stiller could say to Manchester United, look, I want to wait into the summer, see if Real Madrid come in for me. It's pretty obvious he might do that, isn't it? Because Man United doesn't look like a place at the moment where, you know what, we're guaranteed European football. We're guaranteed Champions League football. We're a little bit of I would say like a little bit, not as commercially viable right now. I would say that in regards to players coming to us, because we're not being successful. And last season we were not. And to be honest with you, we were an embarrassment. And that is not down to Ruben Amorim. Of course, it is partly down to the players. It's partly down to everyone at the football club, of course, guys. And that is something that we have to remember, of course, guys. Absolutely. Big up everyone else, of course, guys. Big up everyone. Big up everyone in the stream. Spilled the bean, Sal. Big up, my friend. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Is that spilled the tea? There's spilled the chai, love. There's spilled the tea, Lou. And there's spilled the bean, Sal. Now, spill the bean, Sal, something I made up on Terry Flewer's channel earlier today, because obviously there's a spill the tea. So don't listen. I should trademark these names, guys. I really should trademark these names, guys. And I should start going 50% off YouTube names, you know what I mean? And have it across the top of my stream and stuff like that. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Big up Spill the Chai, love, whoever that is. Big up yourself. Spill the beans, Sal. Big up yourself. Glad you're paying attention. Good to see you. I don't think you'll spill the beans. I don't think you'll spill the tea, Ludo. So something is going on there. Chai does mean tea, though. I know that means tea, but you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I know that much. At the end of the day, big up RJ, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Blessings to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Big up Yale, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Rashford. Well, if he continues to play like he's doing, finding a suitor for him shouldn't be too hard. Already heard of Bayern Munich wants him. Bayern Munich don't want him. That's not accurate at all. Bayern Munich don't want him. The only team that have inquired about him at the moment is PSG, but they want him on loan. Again, they want to continue this loan thing going on at the end of the day, because obviously you're going to get a quality player. He's playing okay. I mean, the way he's playing, not finding too many suitors for him, I don't think so. He's not setting the world alight. You got to watch La Liga to know that he's not really setting the world alight at the moment. He's not. He's average. And all these highlights and these buzz clips of Marcus Rashford, they don't fool anybody. And they certainly don't fool the Barcelona hierarchy neither. He's a PR guy. He's got good PR. And to be honest with you, he's not performing to the levels that they would justify the transfer fee for him. And that's a fact. The only thing I can envision is Marcus Rashford going on another loan. He could go on loan to Bayern. He could do. But Bayern, why would Bayern sign Marcus Rashford? Ask yourself that. Who's in his position? He's going to get ahead of Musiala. Is he going to get ahead of him? Don't think so, to be honest with you, if I'm being honest. But, you never know what happens in the future. But at the end of the day, right now, as it stands, his performances haven't been at the level that they would want to purchase him at the moment, at this present time. What I'm reading is it looks like we are selling mainly Xerxes in Malaysia. Don't believe everything you read, Yale. That's one thing I will tell you right now. Good day. How's it going, Helge? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hasn't Rashford impressed? Nope. What? I'm in shock. Not exactly, Helge. Thank you so much. It's not even Christmas, and they have decided they don't want him. Just like Amorim struggled with play time at Villa as well. Funny. Yeah. Look. Let's not overhype Marcus Rashford here. You raise a good point, Helge. He did fail more or less at Aston Villa. He weren't a world beater at Aston Villa, and he's certainly not a world beater at Barcelona. He's not a likable character, guys. We have to remember that. It's not just about his footballing abilities. You know what I mean? This guy is a little bit full of himself, so to speak. He's done okay in some games, but there are many games that he's gone missing this season. The problem is this, right? The biggest problem, Helge, is that as soon as he does one thing, it goes straight onto social media. Everyone knows about it. Look, Rashford is cooking. Rashford is doing this. Rashford is doing that. Well, he's not. He done a couple of good things here and there, but it has to be like if Barcelona are going to purchase Marcus Rashford, if Barcelona want Marcus Rashford, they want to see more from him, and that is what is the real truth going on right now. Rashford playing through purple patches, absolutely. Rashford got 6 but his rating has been 6.9, so he hasn't been all right. He got 6 goals and 7 assists in the whole season, which is not great playing up front for Barcelona at the moment. He's had a lot of poor performances as well. You got to look at, but Yale, things are deeper than stats. He will only score 2 goals or 2 against shitty teams, disappears for weeks, and then so exactly what he does at Manchester United. Does a couple of things here and there, then disappears for weeks and weeks. We all know the story, guys. We know about Marcus Rashford. Come on. We want Marcus Rashford to leave Manchester United. We want him to do well. We want him to assist. We want him to score goals, but he's not doing well. Ask any Spanish expert. He's not. And people are saying exactly what Helge is saying here, that he would do something like great, brilliant, like he did against Newcastle or something like that, right? He would do something great and then all of a sudden like missing for weeks and weeks. Where's Marcus Rashford? Have you heard about Marcus Rashford last few days? No. Last 3 weeks? No. And that's what happens with Marcus Rashford at the end of the day. And this is something that is played him throughout his career, of course. I don't know whether that is an ego thing or whatever. Big up, Stephanie. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Held, I'd rather have COVID back than Rashford. That's not my line. Big up, my guy. Big up, Danny. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I would not rather have COVID, please. I said already, Rashford should go to Serie A, Sal. No, at the end of the day, Rashford going to Serie A, I don't know if they can afford him, to be honest with you. His wages are high, and Serie A is not a place that you can expect big wages from at the moment. It's not like it used to be back in the 90s. It's not like them days, of course, guys. I think Germany would be a great move for him. I do think that Bayern Munich would be a big move for Marcus Rashford. But then you have to look at things from a realistic, objective point of view, despite people loving Marcus Rashford and stuff like that, and think, who's he going to get ahead of in that Barcelona side? Look at that Barcelona. Just look at that Barcelona side, guys. It's not pretty bad, is it? If you got it, absolutely. Sal, no to digital ID. Big up. I don't know whether you're saying that from England or something. I don't know. I know there's a big thing going on with digital ID, but this was predictable, guys. Digital ID was always going to come into the equation. Of course it was. Many predicted it many years ago. I think Rashford will suit Bundesliga the best. Transition counter, okay, yeah, but he has to be humble himself and probably go to Dortmund or Stuttgart or Hamburg or something like that. Because at the end of the day, he's not going to start for Bayern Munich. If he goes to Germany, he's not going to start for Bayern Munich. He's not going to start. We have to be realistic here. Look at that team at Bayern Munich. Unless they sell one of their players, it's not going to happen, guys. Absolutely not. Edison and Gallo will be nice for January. It would be absolutely nice. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. United will get a big sum for Barcelona breaking a obligation. I do not remember how much the penalty was. It's only going to be about 5-10 million. That's not massive. And they have to pay the full wages from a season. They're only going to get 5-10 million, Yale. That's the fact. Brighton need to reconsider the Baleba price tag. It has to be 25 million, 35 million now. I don't think they're going to sell him if it's for that price. They're still after about 60, 65 at the moment. But Man United obviously are not going to pay that amount of money. Of course, the amount of performances is going on at the moment. Could have told them that as well. I'm almost in the understanding that Ineos are sacking Amorim, and this January window is a great window. He needs to be a miracle man to reach the goals for the season with this big thing. I mean, of course, Jim Ratcliffe has already said, I expect this team to qualify for the Champions League. Guys, Cristiano Ronaldo said it himself that they're expecting Ruben Amorim miracles. That's what they're doing. Cristiano Ronaldo said it. Do you know what I mean? He didn't need to say that, but he said that they're expecting miracles from Jim Ratcliffe, from Ruben Amorim, and it's true. Absolutely. They need to back him. It is a very, very educational couple of months now, what's going to happen, obviously, in the January window. We don't only need signings. We're losing players to the AFCON as well. We're losing important players to the AFCON. We're losing Mbeumo. We're losing Ahmed. Do you know what I mean, guys? Absolutely. Lawrence, it's a shame that for Marcus Rashford, this club drifted so much this decade. He's emblematic, and now he's at the mercy of the stakes at Barcelona. Never liked the club. It's guys, great shame for Marcus Rashford. Great shame for his personality, because at the end of the day, he's the one to blame, not Man United. He's nothing to do with Man United. He is the one who likes to go to New York and things like that and do his thing over there. He's the problem. No one else. No one's to blame. Man United are not to blame here. It's him. He's to blame. He's the one with the ego. You know what I mean? He's the one who flips the bird up at fans. He's the one who does these kind of things, guys. So we have to, he's the one who goes on interviews and things like that. He's the one. He's the problem, right? I don't want to hear about, Man United a problem. This is Man United's problem, because it's absolutely not. This is a player FC nonsense. He is the problem. And at the end of the day, if he can't pick himself up, that's his problem at the end of the day. We all know the capabilities of Marcus Rashford. We all know how good he can be. But it's when he wants to play like that. That's not Manchester United. That's him. He decides whether he wants to score 30 goals in a season or 30 goals in 5 years. It's up to him at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And it's nothing to do with Manchester United. You can't be blame game on here. Tyler Blanston, and here we go with your Tyler Blanstian, whoever he is. And Sacha Tavoleri, our sources that they are currently using 1 hour streams stating that Anderson has chosen the city when Argata. We have to wait and see, mate. I'm not going to talk about that at the moment. We have to wait and see. I'm not heard. You mentioned Tyler Blanston. You mentioned it one more time, Dave. You're getting blocked, brother. I'm tired of hearing that name, Tyler Blanston, whatever you're bloody saying. No more quoting other media outlets on here, mate. I don't want to hear about them. And Sacha Tovarelli, whoever they are, mate. Trust me, I don't want to hear it, bruv. Honestly, show some respect. Hello, Sal. Hope you're good. Big up, Bennett. Big up, Bobby. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. DJ Darkus, afternoon, Sal. Big up, DJ Darkus. How you doing, my friend? Amazing what a decent win does for the mind. Absolutely. Rashford, I think people, if they want him on loan. I mean, at the end of the day, we'll probably get another loan for him. I guarantee you they're not going to purchase him, because you look at PSG's side as well. It's good. You know, who are they going to fit him into that team? Really, realistically. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Helge. The only thing about Rashford worthy of the Ballon d'Or in his PR team, all jokes aside, they are the best I've seen any player ever have. It actually impressive. His PR team are absolutely, guys, absolutely brilliant, of course, guys. You don't need to say it twice. You know what I mean? You're on a tight thread, Dave. Big up, Sal. What has been rejected, Sal? Slices or Sid, what's going on? Basically, I'm talking about the rejected in regards to Angelo Stiller. Big problem with Angelo Stiller, of course. He may be going to Real Madrid. Now, guys, the other bit of rejection I want to talk about is Atletico Madrid and Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher and Manchester United. Now, Atletico Madrid, as I stated this morning, guys, do not want a loan deal. They don't want a loan deal. They want a permanent deal for Conor Gallagher to Manchester United. Now, it does depend, guys, on obviously Manchester United, what they want to do. And how do you guys feel about that? Would you be happy for Man United to pay 40-odd million for Conor Gallagher? You know, I was looking at it and thinking maybe we can get him on loan, pay a small fee and keep him until the end of the season. Would you be happy for Man United to go in January and purchase Gallagher, looking at that player and thinking, you know what, that money is going to be taken from our summer window? Do you know what I mean? So we have to think about this objectively. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And, would you be happy with Conor Gallagher as a permanent signing? This is basically what I'm trying to say. Would you be happy with Conor Gallagher going to Manchester United on a permanent deal in January? I don't know, guys. I really don't. I like Conor Gallagher. I've said it many times. I'm not going to slander Conor Gallagher, but I just feel like this money could be spent elsewhere. We could possibly put that money towards Angelo Stiller and try and persuade him to come to Man United, or Anderson or Wharton. That, for me, would be, Mark, a much more ambitious kind of Manchester United for me, in my opinion. Conor Gallagher on loan with a small fee and then with an obligation at the end of the season would be more sufficient for me. Because if he comes to Man United and he flatters to deceive, and then we're going to be like, oh, we're stuck with him now. We paid 40, 50 million from him. We're stuck with him. We have to understand. We have to try and wheel and deal our way with these deals, because at the end of the day, with these deals and wheeling and dealing our ways, this is why we pay these guys the big bucks to do these deals, of course. Rashford is cooking blood. Absolutely, Kenny. Rashford is cooking blood. I know. It makes you laugh, doesn't it? Absolutely. Isn't Robert Lewandowski past it as a striker? He is indeed, yes, but Rashford isn't a striker. He's not going to be playing up front. Definitely not as a number 10 or number 9. He's definitely not going to be doing that anytime soon. Good evening, Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Wait, I thought that people were saying that Rashford has done so well at Barcelona that Bayern and PSG want to buy him. It's PR, man. PR. Don't fall for the PR. Don't be a sheep, mate. Wake up. You know what I mean? Wake up. Don't follow the media, because he's not playing well. Helge, I think that Dave Rashford humbled himself and don't believe that his big brother, his entourage and his PR team, and realize his true level. You know, he's so much better. He's so much better than he is. I really probably not. At the end of the day, look, what I would say about his entourage, his brother, of course, they've been blowing smoke up his backside for a long time. Look, guys, listen, let me clarify. I want Marcus Rashford to be sold. I want him to leave Manchester United. You know what I mean? I want him to leave. I want Man United to have the money. I want him to succeed at Barcelona. This is one thing I want. I want him to do well so he leaves. Because at the end of the day, if he doesn't do well, he'll be coming back to Manchester United. Rest assured, he will be back at Man United very soon, guys. I want him to leave Manchester United. And of course, I don't care about the hype train that people are on with him. But you know what? I hope he does well so he leaves. Would Marcus Rashford start for PSG? Nope. Not in my opinion. Probably not get on the bench for them. Not even saying that to be funny. Probably not get on and Bayern Munich and PSG. You have to look at them. Hey, big up Danny B. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. So, expecting miracles. They are here. Nearly 2 years and we are not even 25, 30% through a rebuild. Ineos are jokers. Danny, Spot on, mate. And me and you spoken about deals that could be done around the world that they could possibly have done, but they just turn a blind eye to that because they don't want to spend the money. Now, in January, this is very, very important. This January is so important to Manchester United and Ruben Amorim, of course, because at the end of the day, we've got these African nations going on, and we're going to miss a half of our team. Well, 3 of our best players. Let's be realistic here. 3 of our best players, which is Ahmad, Mbeumo, and obviously Mazraoui as well. We're going to miss 3 of those players. So we're in a little bit of a delicate situation here. So they need to envision this, and they need to be making plans now what we're going to do in the January transfer window. We already have to suffer between the 21st of December and the 1st of January. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Rashford, no chance start at PSG. A bench warm-up maybe. Agreed. Absolutely. Rashford wants to have a life outside the pitch like he's Drake. Don't track back, turn up late and training, turn up for games when he wants, and his team to build around him to be a good. He is deluded. Like guys, look, people. Rashford represents a Player FC cult, and if you say anything wrong about Marcus Rashford, he's got a coat on him. There's even Marcus Rashford images online, right? Which, for example, if you wanted to use a Marcus Rashford image for a thumbnail and stuff like that, they get reported and stuff like that. He's that guy, right? He's that guy who is so full of himself. He doesn't like anyone, like talking about him, speaking about him and stuff like that. Even though he's, he brings it on himself sometimes, of course, guys, it's strange. But I do hope he does well. Absolutely. Rashford got that new contract. Then he was a shadow of his former self. Absolutely. And we all know what he can do, of course. I'm happy we are looking to strengthen the midfield in January, but Semenyo going to Liverpool hurts a lot. Look, at the end of the day, what we have to look at, and we have to look at things objectively, RJ. Why would we sign Semenyo? Okay. Now, Semenyo has openly said he doesn't want to play in the left wing back position. And we've got Mbeumo and we've got Cunha, 2 players who have better stats than Semenyo. Right? Better stats than Semenyo. Cunha and Mbeumo have better stats than Semenyo. They're better than Semenyo. They are better than Semenyo. We need to stop getting caught up in the new player, in the new toy syndrome. We're always a shiny new toy. Let's bring in Semenyo as a shiny new toy when Mbeumo and Cunha are better. I don't want to stifle Mbeumo and Cunha. I don't want to do that because I think they're good for Manchester United going forward. Now, if Semenyo wanted to play a left wing-back position, which I don't believe his position anyway, neither is a right wing-back for Ahmad, then, yeah, maybe we can bring him in. But Man United have priorities. Man United need to fix their midfield. That is what Man United need to do. If Liverpool want to flood their team with loads of attackers, they've already got Florian Wirtz, they've already got Ekitike as well. They've got these players. Still got Mohamed Salah at the football club as well, guys. So if they want, and Gakpo, if they want to flood their team with loads of attacking players, then let them do it. Isaac as well. Let them do it. At the end of the day, what Man United need to do, Man United need to think more logically in regards to our team and what we need, and the balance of our team should be the most important thing. Real Madrid needs quality centre-backs, not midfielders. They do need a midfielder, Samuel. They're looking for a midfielder. They're after Adam Wharton as well. And they're looking to replace a couple. They're looking to replace Valverde. Valverde might be leaving. Helge, I would love Gallagher because I think he is a Fletcher O'Shea, not similar, but quality player, but honest player who never down tools, consistent. Could have him for years. Could be, of course. Players that are crucial to building a squad. I think I agree with you, Helge. There, good point. DJ Darkus, if you can hold down a place at Madrid, he's not a player for me, Sal. I can see him sitting on the bench if we do. True say. I mean, at the end of the day, Angelo still at anyone going to Real Madrid. What I would say, anyone going to Real Madrid is going to be running the risk of, like look at Gula, for example. Look at Gula. He's an absolute talent. He's an absolute baller, Gula, isn't he? And Arda Gula, the Turkish international, and he doesn't get into that team. And you're destroying your career. Bit part player is not going to help you in your career. And still is going to take a risk. Real Madrid are looking at midfielders. They are looking at They're looking to rebuild their midfield. This is what I'm hearing. And they will. And Helge, I laughed about the briefing today of yesterday of breaking the bank next year for a midfielder. We've heard this so many times. I don't want to hear it, mate. At the end of the day, Helge, exactly what you said there. I don't want to hear it. I just want to see actions. That's all I want to see. I just want to see actions. I don't want to see nonsense anymore, guys. I don't want to see any more buzzwords and false dawns and all this crap that they're saying. Do it now. Do it now. Why not do it in January? Show us that you mean business. Because all we're doing right now at the moment is kicking the ball down the road, keep kicking the ball down the road. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Didn't they say last January that wait until the summer, what we're going to do in the summer, see what we're going to do in the summer? Didn't they say that last January? That worked well, didn't it? Absolutely. Stephen, what's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Ineos and the Glazers out. We needed a full Sal. Agreed with you, Stephen, as usual, my friend. I do agree with you. Absolutely. Dave, we need to offload the likes of Rashford and Sancho. Sancho's on the free transfer at the end of the season, Dave. Keep up, my bro. We are really focused on getting quality players and not interested in the possibility of dross players coming back. Sancho's on a free transfer, my friend. He won't be coming back next season. Ephraim. Sal, Rashford lovers are crying now. Who is laughing out, mate? You know what? At the end of the day, look, I'll be honest with you, FM. This is not about me against them or them and that, but we could have envisioned that. We told them about Sancho. We told them about Rashford. Do you know what I mean? This is the man-dem talk, isn't it? Again, it's the man-dem opinion. And, when you get a bunch of man-dem together to give a footballing opinion, you rarely get an accurate footballing opinion or an accurate footballing analysis because it's based on bigotry, hatred, sinister, and that's what it's based on at the end of the day. That's what the man-dem is all about, because if you know what man-dem means, then you would know what I'm talking about. Absolutely. And to be honest with you guys, I just feel like, people just need to wake up and to the realization that these players are just simply not right for this football club. They're not going to give 100% for Manchester United, and they're not going to give 100% for themselves. And as I spoke about, I was apparently bullying Sancho a few years ago when I posted an image of him training or lack of training in training, and people saying stop bullying him and all that. But here you are. Here's the evidence for you of what has happened to Sancho. There you go, guys. Absolutely. Helge. Totally agree, Sal. Semenyo thing is nonsense. Buying players in Cunha and Bremer's position is seriously the dumbest thing we could do next window. Look, guys, look, you know what? People don't understand. They look at the ins and outs of football. They just look at, you know what? Semenyo would be a great signing. A shiny new toy playing in that attacking area. Yeah. Cunha and Embremo were signed for Man United because they had fantastic stats last season, better than Semenyo. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So let's be realistic here, guys. You know what I mean? And we've got Cunha, we got Embremo. They're going to be our future number 10s, right? Then we're going to fix the midfield and the wing backs. That's what Man United need to be looking at the moment. If Semenyo wants to play a wing back position, maybe he can do that, but I just don't think that is a decision, to be honest. Absolutely. Dave, Sal, that's what I wasn't getting with the Semenyo links, because where would we play? So I mean, look. If he wanted to play left wing back, Dave, then all for it. We're all for it at the end of the day, but he doesn't want to do that. So, that is out the window because unless he wants to sit on the bench, or Cunha's going to sit on the bench, or Mbremo's going to sit on the bench. It doesn't really make sense. Look, guys, I don't mind signing Semenyo. I'll be honest with you. I don't mind Man United going after Semenyo and signing him, but it comes from a very, very low IQ opinion of football when people say, let's get Semenyo. About their thinking about football. They don't really understand football, and it does equate to lack of knowledge about tactics and balance and things like that, of course, guys. Now, Semenyo coming to Manchester United, would be the icing on the cake, the cherry on the icing on the cake. For example, Man United have got their two midfielders, we've got our two wing backs, and now we're going after Semenyo to be the je ne sais quoi up front and stuff like that. And that is what it is all about. I rate Semenyo highly at the end of the day, but I also rate Cunha and Embremo more. And this is the thing. Unless we're going to play a false number 9, Semenyo comes back or Cunha comes back, where else we're going to do that? But we've all got Sesko as well. And obviously we can end up stifling Sesko as well, of course, guys. Absolutely. Bobby, I'm not saying that Rashford is a great player, but I think he's good enough for the Farmers League. Barca are just greedy and want everything. Yeah, I agree with Bobby. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you 100% in regards to Barcelona. I'm not denying that. Barcelona are absolute shameless scumbags. That's what they are. That's what they've always been. They're probably the most overhyped team in the history of football. I'll tell you right now, in regards to their mentality and the culture of that football club. Now, look, that's why Real Madrid will always be a level ahead, in my opinion, of Barcelona. And guys, Man United have a great relationship with Real Madrid, of course, if you know your history, of course, guys, absolutely. Helge, And also with Semenyo, it would be reject lots of big clubs for being a starter at winger to come to us and play a position he has never played before. Because Spreadsheet FC said, I mean, she's saying that we should sign Semenyo. Goodness me, where is this ball lack of knowledge coming from? Because at the end of the day, I don't know, guys. God, please, can we stop dumbing down footballing opinion? Because this is what's going on at the moment. The dumb down of footballing opinion is rife. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, goodness me. So back in the 1990s, right, when Man United were at their all-time greatest, right, we had Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, Paul Scholes, Roy Keane in that midfield, right? So we had Ryan Giggs on the left, right? Okay, so what we're gonna do now, right? So let's get another left winger. So Man United should go out, like, for example, all right, let me say this really. We had, for example, Irwin as a left back. Let's go and get Lizarazu to challenge Irwin at left back, even though we got Irwin at left back and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Let's get Lothar Matthäus to challenge Gary Neville as a right back, of course, guys. Yeah, let's buy another striker, even though we got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Dwight York, Andy Cole, and Teddy Sheringham. You know, it's just so ridiculous. Man United need midfielders. Man United are Bagel FC. You know, that's what we are. You know, we have a very, very poor midfield that gets run through. And that's what Man United need to be concentrating at the moment. If we do get Semenyo, then you're going to say, well, bloody hell. What about the midfield, guys? What's going on? You know? GJ Darkers, we just need a settled team and a few players to build around. Agreed with you, DJ Darkers. Absolutely. Players we can rely on, my guy. Heard Onana didn't get selected for AFCON yet. 4 goalkeepers they selected, Kenny. 4 goalkeepers. I didn't even know Cameroon had 4 goalkeepers. They got 4 goalkeepers and not one of them was Onana. That is absolute a slap in the face insult, isn't it, guys? Absolutely. Danny, if we don't have at least one player signed in January 8th to the 10th, Ineos are not ambassadors. I mean, Danny, I don't think they're ambitious at all. I don't think they want to spend money. If I'm being totally honest with you, my friend, I don't think they want to spend money. I don't think they're interested in spending money on Manchester United football team. I think they're more interested in bigger pictures like their stadium plans and this and that and making more money. You know, if they are really, really serious about Manchester United and they want success for Manchester United, they need to concentrate on this January transfer window. That's what they need to do because this January transfer window represents an opportunity, right? It represents an opportunity because hopefully by that time, by January, we will still be in touching distance of this top 4. If not, we will be in the top 4. So this is what I want. I want them to solidify our chances of being in that top 4. That's what I want. You know, if they don't do that, then they're not ambitious at all, and they're not interested in the success for Manchester United going forward. We know if Man United qualify for this Champions League, we know what that's going to do for us, not only this season and next season, but going forward in the future seasons. We'll have 100 million to spend in regards to Champions League money, and then obviously that can be reinvested, hopefully, in the team, of course, guys. So yeah, it is sad. Player FC is the worst. It's a virus, mate. It is. Absolutely. I bet there are people in the world that would want Areola to come in, extend Sancho, bring back Rashford and bring back Pogba from Monaco and play. I mean, guys, look, listen. This is what we're talking about. I call it hell's the man-dem opinion. The man-dem opinion. The man-dem opinion about football is as bright as Barney the dinosaur sitting there, all purple and purple, about football. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And this is what it is. I might as well get Barney the dinosaur to come on this stream and start talking about football because that is basically the man-dem opinion about football, the IQ level of football that they have. You know what I mean? Very, very simplistic. And that's what it is, guys. Absolutely. You know, at the end of the day, they're like a T-Rex with a small brain. That's it. You know what I mean? Basically. Guys, absolutely. If they, you know, because look, guys, you know what it is? Realistically, guys, you know what it is? What it is the fact that they have this opinion, they have this sinister opinion. It's a sinister opinion. It's a sinister opinion of football. I'm not going to get into it, but it's sinister. It's nothing to do with football. Guys, it's nothing to do with that. And they have this sinister opinion, and then they create this illusion that, you know, Pogba and Rashford and all these players, like, you know, their favorite players are being hard done by, they're being treated badly, they're being treated unfairly and this and that, because they always believed in them that they were going to be, I mean, they just need to, I believed in Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, I remember when he made his debut, right? I remember he made his debut at Manchester United. I was delighted. I was so excited. Marcus Rashford scored in his European debut, scored against Arsenal, those 2 goals. I was delighted. I was working that day. I remember I was so excited. And because obviously he's a youngster. He's one of us. He came through the ranks and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? He's a Manchester United fan. Yeah, and that is what it was, and I like that. But sometimes you have to look at things. Garnacho was one of my favorite players. People know that. People know on this stream that I defended Garnacho to the cows came home. But do I agree with the conduct of Garnacho? Do I agree with what Garnacho did? Absolutely not. Garnacho's an absolute prat. And I will say that to right now to everyone that Garnacho is an absolute prat. Right? He let me down. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Marcus Rashford let me down. You know, and this is exactly what it is. That, you know, he's the one. He's to blame. We can't keep blaming the football club for their misdemeanors. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know. Manuel Ugarte should join Atletico Madrid. Manuel Ugarte, don't know what's happened to him. Of course, there was Ruben Amorim talking about Ugarte, about his Sporting Lisbon days, and he has no clue what's happened to Ugarte. He has no clue about the performances of Ugarte, what's going on with Ugarte. No one knows. It's a mystery. When we were after Ugarte a couple of years ago, every single one of us in this stream and everywhere else wanted Ugarte, you know, and we know about his ball recovery record, his tackling record. He's a brilliant player. Don't believe the hype about PSG and all that. He is a brilliant player, and his stats will tell you that. But the thing is something has happened with Ugarte. I can't put my finger on it, but maybe it just hasn't worked out. It just hasn't worked out, and maybe he needs to be moved on, and that's it. And Man United need to move on, and we need to move on completely, of course. How you doing, William? Good to see you, William Logan. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing blessed, mate. Hope everything is good. Held, you're spitting pure facts today. Big up, bro. Seriously, big up, Held. Much love, brother. Thank you so much, guys. Listen, I speak the gospel. This is what Stretford Post is all about. I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm not Willy Wonka. I don't sugarcoat anything. I say it as it is. I don't just talk because you know what I want. You know, I want to make certain people happy. I don't do that at the end of the day. The difference with me, I don't get no big stream raids in my stream. I don't get anyone supporting my channel apart from my great community, of course. Everything is on my own. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, nothing is being put on the plate for me. You know what I mean? There's none of that, you know, Terry Flewers or Mark Goldbridge hype or transfer of subscribers and that to me. Absolutely not. It's all Stretford Post doing. And my great community, like Helge, like all the great people in this community that I respect so much, because the people in this community are the people I look at and I would like to sit down in a bar and talk about football for hours. That is what I look at when I see this community. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think about, yeah, this is the community that, you know what I mean? Full knowledge. Would Anton Semenyo be better off joining the relegation Tottenham Hotspur? Big up, Semenyo. I mean, Semenyo's better than that. Just like Ronaldo signing, we need a good midfielder, not Ronaldo, but it's the past. Big up, my guy. Everyone here, make sure you smash the like. Thank you so much, Harold. Smash the like, guys. Don't forget to smash the like. Can we get to 50 likes before the end of the show, guys? That'd be absolutely fantastic. We can do that, of course. Dave, Eld, in the day of age, are there any people that would want? Oh, by the way, Dave, I'm only joking, all right? But I'm about the journalists and stuff, so don't take it seriously. This Stretford Post, we have a very dark sense of humor on here, so just don't take it seriously, guys. Much love to you, brother, but don't mention any other those silly journalists because I don't want to know about them. I don't really like them, to be honest with you. I'll give up being honest with you because they talk a lot of rubbish about our football club as well. Where's the prayers for Amorim? Praise for Amorim after the Palace game. Amazing. The media have said nothing. Amazing. Some of our fans have said nothing, William, isn't it? Amazing, isn't it? When Ruben Amorim wins a game, that they say, oh, it's the players. But when we lose a game, it's the manager. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it a coincidence that Man United went in at halftime playing absolutely atrocious? We were here watching the game. They were playing absolutely atrocious, right? And then they come out in the second half, all guns blazing, and win the game. I wonder who that's because of. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about, but they don't want to give Ruben Amorim the praise because they made up their own. And this is a sign of unintelligence. Guys, listen, we were all talking about Xerxes and his performance in the first half. We were all talking about it. We were all talking about Mason Mount, right? But when Mason Mount scores, when Xerxes scores, it's love. That's all we want. That's all we want. As a collective, we want Man United to do well. I don't hate any player who wears that great shirt of Man United. I want them all to do well. That's what I want. You know what I mean? I want them all to be, you know, winners. I want them to lift that title. I want to see that. I want Bruno to lift that title. I want to see him doing this with that title. I want to see it. That's what I want to see. You know, I'm doing it because out of love. When we talk about Man United and we say, oh, flip it. Why did he do that? Why did he pass into there? Why does he keep giving the ball away? Why did he do that? Because we want to win. We know that we can. We know that we can. Now, look, guys, we got West Ham on Thursday. This is such a big game. This is probably even bigger than the Palace game because This reminds me of the Everton game. I'm doing the match preview tomorrow. I'm going to go through the ins and outs of this game. But this is this kind of game that we have been playing over the last couple of years and been flattering to deceive. We've been really doing it to ourselves in regards to like the Everton game. The Everton game was a big slap in the face with a big wet salmon. That's what it is. It was a big slap in the face because we've done all that hard work. We got back in games. We won hard games and stuff like that. Then we lose to the easy one, apparently, which was Everton at home. Now, another easy one is West Ham at home. And we should be winning this game. I really do hope we do. Sal, Dave, the Baller FC is well and living still today, or maybe not, but they still do exist, believe it or not. Sal, yep, they do exist, my friend. They do exist. The man them exist, my friend. Hairs on the back of my neck goes up at the mention of the talent we had to now. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Big up DJ Darkus, by the way, legend, of course. Hope you're doing well, my friend. We have punished West Ham on Thursday because they brought Hope back to lose a ball. I mean, who loses to Liverpool these days? I don't know. They're irrelevant club. I don't know who loses to them. Ellen, I'm here, but driving. Be careful, Ellen. Take it easy, my friend. Take it easy. Big up. Please like Strelstrom. Thank you so much, you legend. Really appreciate you, my friend. Should Manchester United raid Aston Villa for Ahmad Onana and Tottenham Hotspur for Jed Spence? Wouldn't be a bad idea, to be honest with you. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Both very, very good players. A little bit of question marks over Jed Spence's attitude, which we need to look into. I don't really believe it, but we should look into it. Great player, though. Going to get in the England squad, I think. Should be. William, all Ineos want to do is keep spinning plates. Are they Greek? By the way, the keepers chose ahead of Onana plays in Congo League, Romanian League, Cameroon League, one in the French League, but he's 21. My goodness me. Oh, God. So, Mandem Talk as some agenda as player FC. Mandem Talk are basically a sensationalist opinion about football. Mandem, I speak on a broad scale, right? I'm not talking about a show. I'm talking about the Mandem, because in regards to a Mandem means a group of people, the kind of people that get together and talk about football, which I'm talking about, all right? So listen, my friends, some of them are Mandem, for example. Now, Mandem talk is street talk about football, basically. And it doesn't come with any logic. It comes with basically over-sensationalized agendas. That's what it comes with, right? It doesn't come with, for example, I could talk about Ruben Amorim. I could say, well, Ruben Amorim, you know what? He got that wrong. He shouldn't really be playing Bruno in the midfield. Mainly should come in at number 8. But you know what? He's been hampered by the squad. Obviously, there hasn't been backed. He's been 4 out of 10 window with Ineos, and they should have backed him a lot more better. Mandem talk is this. Get that Portuguese fraud out of my club, bruv. He's such a fraud, man. We fraud this win today. We've absolutely frauded this win today. This is not sustainable. This is a fraud. He's a fraud. That is Mandem. Right? You get it? You get where we're going with this, right? That's the difference between it. And this is what we have to eradicate from Manchester United to make Manchester United better environment to be, of course. I still think Onana is a match fixture. I mean, the Grimsby, definitely. Absolutely. This is not me joking. Breaking news. VAR is set to power over corners and second yellow cards at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Wow. The games will be extremely long. They need to get... can I be honest with you, Helge? They need... You know where this is heading? You know where this is heading? This is heading towards AI, mate. Everything is heading towards AI. I actually think that football's heading towards AI. I think that referees are going to be a thing in the past, and I think they know this. I think that AI is going to be getting involved now. There's going to be robotic technology. That's what it's going to be. Guys, there won't be no referee on the pitch. It straight will be like, beep, like out of nowhere. It'll be like, foul to Manchester United. That's what it's going to be. Something like that. Of course, Ryan. Sal, is that truth that I prefer City United? Look, can I be honest with you, Ryan? I'll be honest with you, Ryan. Anderson is not a Manchester United fan, right? And I heard that he's a Newcastle fan, but that's irrelevant. But what I would say is this, right? At this present moment in time, right now, where we are sitting right now, if Anderson had 2 offers, one was on Manchester United side and one was on Manchester City side, who would he pick? He'd pick Man City, wouldn't he? We have to be real, as real people on this stream. We have to be realistic. We have to be objective about where we are. We're not where we want to be. Now, that might change in the summer. Maybe Man United can pull some strings in January. Who knows? But nothing has been confirmed yet. This is hearsay. This is speculation. You get it all the time. When Man United are involved with a player, when Man United want a player, they always like to bring a downer on it. That's what they do. They do it all the time. You know what I mean? Stretford Gospel, thank you so much, Harold. You're an absolute legend, my guy. Big up yourself, guys, absolutely. It is gutter press, and I say that. But you know what? I'm going to shut it down because it's annoying me. It is annoying me. All these people. Can I just say, Dave and Ryan, we have to be very, very careful when we're talking about these so-called journalists that Dave mentioned earlier and stuff like that, right? We have to be very, very careful when we're putting any sort of praise or legitimacy in regards to their reporting, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of journalists out there that do not wish best for Manchester United. They don't wish best for Man United. They don't like happy Man United. This is why, lo and behold, guys, Man United win a game against Crystal Palace, Anderson's going to Man City. There you go. This is what they do, guys, because they don't want us to have any kind of joy, any kind of celebration. What the media should be doing all week is talking about what a result for Ruben Amorim against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace haven't lost at home since February. Isn't that incredible? That's what they should be doing. Nah, they don't do that. Nah, they just want to bring it down on everything. Big up Ryan, big up Dave. Newcastle versus Spurs. What a game tonight. Is it Newcastle versus Spurs tonight? Bloody hell. Yeah, that's a big game. Sal, it's okay. I get it. I was just calling them out earlier since they keep. Yeah, no, mate. I'm just playing with you, Dave. You know, we're friends. Don't worry about it, mate. Yeah, look, you know what? I'm just saying that like overly eccentrically, you know what I mean? Like they do with their reporting. Never heard of them, to be honest with you, mate. I'll be honest. I'll be real. I haven't heard of them. Maybe I'll look into them, but yeah, they're jokers. You know what I mean? Typical, isn't it? Is that tonight, RJ? I'm not sure that's tonight. I'm not sure unless it's midnight for me. I'm gonna have to look. Harold, you are so spot on. It's sinister when we lose. It's a week of constant drama, arguing, heat on socials, etc. It feels so long when we win. We hear the sound of crickets. Nothing happens. I mean, you know what I would say I've heard, Harold? You would have thought that Man United lost this week. You would have thought. If someone woke up today and didn't see what happened at the weekend, if you read the social media, you would have predicted that we lost to Crystal Palace, didn't we? You would have thought that because the way people are talking, it's ridiculous. Look at them all, guys. Look at them all. They can't even look after their own cholesterol, let alone talking about Manchester United and what's good for Manchester United. I don't want to hear about it, guys. To be honest with you, come on. You know what I mean? Goodness me. It's mad, isn't it, Els? And Bobby, Sal, why do our players panic at Old Trafford? I don't know, mate. Spiritual thing. Years of negativity. You know what I would say about things. Negativity is a thing that grows and it resonates. And I think it does stay in the air. The air of negativity and the air of anxiety when you're playing and you're not scoring a goal. Now, you can bet your bottom dollar against West Ham United that Man United will be playing and it will be a difficult game and we'll make it hard for ourselves. Unless Man United get an early goal, which we don't do enough, we should do against West Ham, it would ease all the pressure off us, of course, guys, absolutely. Ryan, the guy I call Kitchen is going to refereeing United against West Ham. The Kitchen, who is he? Who's the Kitchen? Sal, and your thoughts on JJ Gabriel and his possible eventual transition to the first team or out on loan. He smashed in. I think he's going to play in the FA Cup, DJ Darkus, and I think he should. I think he's going to be in the FA Cup. He's been made eligible for the FA Cup, so he might be in the FA Cup, of course, guys. Absolutely. Guys, absolutely. Mandem could be a police or people who think they know what they are on about a really... Yeah, look, a Mandem for me, this is why I always thought DJ Darkus, from East London, a guy from the estate, right? This is what a Mandem is for me. Street people talking about football, basically. And look, guys, I'm a street person, but I came out of the street, right? I'm not a Mandem. I don't get around with Mandem. I want to talk properly about Manchester United, the club I love, right? The difference between me and these Mandem is that you know what? I actually love the football club, and these don't. They love their platforms. That's what they love, and you know they're entitled to their opinion, but their opinion's based on over the sensationalized insults. That's what it is at the end of the day. Now, we won the game against Crystal Palace. Anyone would have thought that we hadn't won the game against Crystal Palace. Anyone would have thought that we lost the game against Crystal Palace. The way people were going on, it was absolutely pathetic. But they're entitled to their opinion, and they can have their opinion, but it doesn't mean I'm going to respect their opinion. I don't. And to be honest with you, you know what I mean? Mandem talk is something like people, like, you know what it is, guys? People get Mandem on their channels, whoever it is, any Man United fan that, you know, has Mandem in their talk, and they bring them on Liverpool channels and things like that to talk about Man United. And all they're doing really is slandering Manchester United to Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans. It's embarrassing, you know, and that's what they do. They go on big platforms and slander Man United even more. Look, we know that Man United are nowhere near where we want to be. We know that at the end of the day. And, but we don't go on other channels to slander our football club. I go on other channels, even though it's 3 against 1, 4 against 1, 5 against 1, 6 against 1. I battle Man United with chest. I battle Man United for Man United with chest, and I do not give them an inch. I don't, because they're looking at me and they want me to do this, right? Oh, yeah, we're shit, bruv. We're shit. Well, no, man. The manager, man. They want me to do this, guys. This is what they want. You know what I mean? They want me to, they want to poke it. Not me, mate. So when I come out with historical lessons for people and I spit the gospel about Man United and the Premier League and things like that, it's a bit like a vampire with garlic. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And, they can't, they're like, oh, my goodness me, with their cloak. They can't do it. You know what I mean? They can't take it. It's nothing to do with race, RJ. Sure, is Rashford a Manchester boy and Cole Palmer a United fan? And look how that, we didn't have our ears to the ground, Stephen, did we? At the end of the day, we didn't have our ears to the ground. I'm mixed race, by the way, guys. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, so anyway, guys. RJ, I think they're scared we get Anderson Sal. Yep, probably. They are, because they know. Helge. Good point, Sal. The media seriously influences players to certain choices. They always deposit going to United will end their career, graveyard, etc. The media tries everything they can. Absolutely. I think Ruben Amorim's stubbornness will cost him his job, honestly. Big up Trizzy, by the way. Well, let's wait and see, Trizzy. It may do, it may not. We have to wait and see. Big up Trizzy, though. Good to see you, mate. Yes, today is Fulham versus City and Newcastle versus Tottenham. Geez, that's a big game, you know. Again, good point. It actually seems like we lost. Then, in fact, that we won against a God Almighty Glasner. I mean, the guy that they wanted, exactly. Now it's suddenly not a big deal, even though he is the second coming of the Christ genius. And so was Thomas Frank a few weeks ago, wasn't he? Absolutely, Helge. It's peaked for Spuds fans and are openly booing Thomas Frank and the players. He's lost it, mate. And I knew he would. I didn't know he was, guys. He knew it. I think there were United fans who wanted us to lose because of Ruben Am. Yeah, that's disgusting. Guys, absolutely. Mandem is a special expression hardly used today, Sandy. Mandem's a very old-fashioned... listen, guys, let me tell you where I was raised. I was raised in a council estate in Leytonstone in East London, right? 5 of us in a 1-bedroom flat, right? So basically what it means is that I've never... All my friends were Mandem, you know, back in them days, you know what I mean? And people from the street, people from the similar background as me. And I've never had a decent conversation with them about football. It was always based around banter, hype, dissing, cursing, insulting, and things like that. Is what their idea of football was. My idea of football was always like, even if it wasn't my team and it was Arsenal, it was Chelsea, or Chelsea. No one supported Chelsea back then anyway. You know, only supported them since 2008 anyway. But you know what I would say is this, right? So even if it wasn't my team, I would bring logic into football opinion. That's what I would do. I would always bring logic. But because of this happened. Because of this happened. For example, I'll give you an example, right? In 1998, Man United lost 1-0 to Arsenal. Arsenal ended up winning the league title. When we lost 1-0 to Arsenal, Arsenal were like, say, hold that, get that. Yeah, you're scum, you're this, you're that, you're shit, you're this, you're that, you're this. Get that, hold that, you shit, this, that, other that, blah, 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 blah. When Man United beat Arsenal, it's like, do you know what, guys? Yeah, unlucky, mate. But your Man United won the game. I'm happy. But you know what? You played a good game. Well done. It was a good performance, man. It was a good game. Well done. That was the difference between a person who talks with logic and a Mandem talk. That's the difference between that. And that's what I would say. guys, as a guy from the street, as a mixed race Asian Muslim living in the east end of London, that is what at the end of the day it was. You know what I mean? So look, that's what I'll say. So how do you think Van der Ven is overrated? I don't know. Any team news? Well, no, nothing at the moment. I'm going to do it tomorrow, Dave, by the way. I'll do it tomorrow. My brother is a hard hammer. So I'm bloody hell. That's the first in Norway as well. Extra excited for the game. We're excited to each other. They have been so shit this season. So I would expect us to win, especially with the Paqueta out. We should do, Ben. I really hope so. But I think I'm not too bothered about Paqueta. I think it's more to do with the low block that Man United guys. Absolutely. People seem to think that it took Arsenal 20 years to get here. Get where? You know what I mean? Let's let them finish the job, Stephen. Exactly. Dave, it's crazy how few people forgot that when Frank was at Brentford, he was regularly getting smoked. He did improve players, yes, but he's a Brentford manager, and that's what we have to understand. He's a Brentford manager. That's it, at the end of the day. Cunha back is massive. I agree, my guy. Absolutely, guys. Cunha back is huge. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining the stream. Really great conversation. That's what we have at Stretford Post. It's not just simplistic. It's edgy. It's what we love, guys. It's what it's all about. We keep doing things our way, guys. I want to thank everyone for joining me. You absolute legends, guys. Whether it's me, the man, them, or whoever it is, guys, we enjoy it. We love everyone, guys. Take it easy. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow for Breaking Dawn. Should be a big one, guys. Please, please, please smash a like on the way out, guys. That would appreciate that, guys. And guys, stand the win. I know, I'll never forget that. Sal, there's 2 places in Norway called Hammer and Hammarby. Hammarby, isn't it? That's one of the teams, isn't it? DJ Darkus, yeah, Hammarby. Have a good evening. Big up, my friend. Big up. We're going to hammer them. That's what's going to happen. Absolutely. Big up, Helge. Big up, DJ Darkus. Big up, everyone in the stream, guys. Big up, RJ. Hope you're well, guys. Take it easy. Have a great day. I'm Sal Warner. This is, of course, Chatterbox. Chatterbox is the realest show in the world, guys. There you go. No, I'm exaggerating. Take it easy, guys. Peace.